Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Anime Watch Club, a bi-weekly group discussion and review where the hosts of the What You Say Anime podcast nominate and vote on shows either we haven't seen or shows that hopefully lead to a great discussion. On today's episode, the totally normal and not crazy host of the What You Say Anime podcast will be reviewing the 2025 anime Ave Mujica. Joining me today are my wonderful co-hosts Miles, and kicking things off for us, we got Pat. Pat, take it away.
Yes, we are talking about Ave Mujica, the die is cast, or Bang Dream Ave Mujica, I guess depends on how you want to pronounce it. This aired in the winter 2025 season, so earlier this year as of the time of us recording, done by Studio Sanzigen, and it is from mixed media, so a mix of a mobile game, and it sounds like some more lore being written and work being done by the writers behind the original Bang Dream franchise, and a genre of drama and themes of music. And yeah, I guess we'll get right into it with our first impressions and whether we'd recommend the show or not, spoiler free for those who haven't seen it. Miles, why don't you start us off? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, as someone who liked specifically the episode of My Go where Ave Mujica was introduced, because it was just completely my jam. I am biased.
It was your
because
go.
it was my go now. Fuck all them. It was my go now. And like, even if this was just awful, I would probably still like it for purely the aesthetic and the music, because those things are just up my alley, right? I think that it's a pretty good story. It's a bit complex at first, and there's a lot going on. I think that it's a little unwieldy with some cast bloat and everything. There are downsides to this. This is not perfect. Though I would recommend it if you have my taste. When you listen to this podcast and you think, oh, that Miles guy, what great taste he has with his Ave Mujica poster in the background, which I bought before the show aired, just because I like the aesthetic. Or with my set of pathetic doll cards from Weiss Schwartz Ave Mujica, or my signed Oblivionus Ave Mujica card, or this pack of Weiss Schwartz Ave Mujica I'm about to open right now as I continue talking, then you will enjoy this. Though I must say, while I think there is stuff to be gleaned from this plot, I think that it is something that you really need to be in the mood for to be watching, because if you are only half or even 3/4 interested in this, you're going to be missing a lot of things, and it's going to appear like a jumbled mess. As someone who was interested in this the first time I watched it, but was just busy with life and couldn't dedicate like full brain power to it, I found a lot of things confusing.
Oh,
And so another thing people might know about Weiss Schwartz is that while not mappable, very easy to... Oh, we got a secret rare, though. Look at that.
Ooh.
Secret rare Masquerade. That's exciting.
That's a big...
double
pull.
rare. I lied.
Big pull.
And then... Look at that. We got some shiny.
Follow you.
This is just a single rare, and then we have this. Nothing. The thing about Weiss Schwartz is that if you get like a signed card in one of the boxes in your case, you're very certain that there's not going to be anything valuable in the rest of your case, and you can sell those boxes, which is why that entire box of packs I bought for this one pack to open at the beginning was $30 online.
Commitment to the bit, for sure. I love it.
Yeah, well, it paid off when I did it for Uma Musume. I have that signed special week card that's going through the roof. That being said, I would recommend this for people, and this isn't even the normal cop-out. I think you just need to be interested in this enough to pay attention. It is not something that you should casually watch just because you're vaguely interested in it. I think that the more you can pay attention to this, the better it'll be, and it suffers pretty heavily from not being able to pay attention, rewind when you need to, all of that sort of stuff. You know, it's something that requires some buy-in, for better or worse, and that's my thought there.
That is a very, very aptly phrased, Miles. Pete, what about you?
Yeah, so this was my rewatch. I was watching this when it aired in the winter season, and just coming into it, we knew what we were sort of getting ourselves into a little bit after the end of My Go. Seeing like the tone change from more of a fun and poppin' party style band into a more creative and artistic direction, I would say. towards their approach, whether it's in their performance in the actual musical or like the act that they're performing. So that like change was awesome in Ave Musica. Though like the theming a lot of times in this show, I think is gonna be a big aspect of it. Like I want to say it's like perfect blue light, but it's like way lighter than that. I think a lot of times that this show does a little bit of over dramatizing some elements, like how they're trying to portray or showcase these emotions to people. And sometimes it's off-putting and sometimes it really hits the mark. There's some characters that I think just like absolutely killed it. And that's kind of like what my first impressions of the show were, was just like the stylistic change from Mygo into Ave Musica was a great change. And I'm looking forward to talking more about it. I would say if you're a fan of the franchise, obviously watch it. If you're a fan of like, because for me it's just like I say start watching Bang Dream at Mygo, like just skip the first 3 seasons altogether. But yeah, I mean, I would recommend if you're a fan of just like girl band shows, because even if you like more of like the fun and frilly stuff like season 1 Bang Dream, I still think fans of this genre can find something in Ave Musica, because like the music is insane. Like even if you don't like the story, like Kill Kiss is probably my OP of the year. A lot of the performances were just bangers. It was awesome to see stuff like the Mygo band towards the end and get reintroduced to them for the next season. Overall, I think this is like a well-structured show and I would recommend it.
All right. I think I am the person Miles was talking to with his introduction and his first thoughts, where he brings out, or where he said that if you aren't super invested in this show or aren't able to be super invested into this show, it will miss a lot of marks for you. And I think that that is me. I did try. I wanted to see more of the stuff that I thought was being hyped up about the show, the mystery and the and that aspect of the show that I was hoping for, I guess. Maybe again, and that's probably my fault for hoping for the show to not be what it is. I don't think I have any specific negatives or things that I really didn't care for about the show. It's just this is not my genre whatsoever of kind of a show. I do agree with Miles, brought it up earlier. The cast bloat is there. I'm the exact opposite of you, Pete. I was so annoyed when the Mygo girls showed up, because then it's just a whole nother set of names to have to try to remember and figure out and rewind and be like, oh, this person's talking about that person and whatever else. And again, a huge part of almost every complaint of mine is going to be caveated with, well, if you cared more or if you were more invested in these characters, you wouldn't confuse them, or you would understand it better, or you would notice those little things. And to that I say fair, but also I had to stop and start this show 4 or 5 times. I was so bored by this show. The music in it is not my style of music either. My Spotify listening age was literally 69, so maybe that has something to do with it. It is nice. And I'm so oversaturated on girls band shows. It's I can understand why people appreciate this, and like why Miles, I think you mentioned it earlier, like this is your style of music. You love this music. So it was able to make it more relatable for you. It was not that way for me. So I would not recommend this show unless you were someone like what Pete mentioned earlier. If you like girls band shows, I think that there is stuff there for you. If you like this style of music, and if you like the sort of avant-garde, like theatrical aspect of their performances as well, if you watch one of their performances and find that interesting or compelling enough to want to watch the show, then I'd say go for it. If that, but for me, there was not a lot there for me to want or enjoy.
Another thing is, like, if you think Yumineko when they cry is absolute peak, and you want a watered down, toned down version of that has a shockingly high amount of similar plot lines that are just less dark, you watch this, because we're never getting more Yumineko. So you might as well. That's
Hey,
that's another great point.
We get more Harley. You never say never.
That was some of the best news I've received in months. I'm not kidding. Like it really. That
you
is
just wait
so
until
exciting.
it's like a new anime project for the Haruhi Gotcha.
It's like an OVA. It's like a 1 episode OVA or something.
It will be fun watching this back and seeing if I am forced to eat my words and just be crushed with disappointment. But I'm hoping they won't. But yeah, let's get right into it. I guess spoilers going forward then for Ave Mujica. The die is cast. Who wants to cast the first die?
Oh, do you want to go, Pete?
No, I'm sorry. I'm trying to point to you, but like my thing's flipped on my screen, so I'm pointing to you on one. There we go. Ew.
I have a hot take, a Subway take, if you will. If you watch those shorts, I
what
enjoy
type
them.
of Subway?
The New York Subway.
Okay.
Because that's where the thing usually.
Oh, it's the short where he like the microphone. Yeah,
interviews, yeah, and they like say a hot take or whatever.
This is just the fat person to me. I immediately went to the Subway sandwiches.
Yeah, I also went that way.
I was like, what the hell?
Oh, okay, that's my bad.
No, that's on me. That's fat kid on me.
But I was thinking about it during this show because I think this show does both of the things I'm about to talk about, and I was hoping some of the other mentally ill members of our podcast would be here to like affirm or deny, but I guess like in my head you two are the most sane of our group.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
I guess
yeah, for sure. So I'm curious on your take too. This is my take that I thought of while this is about media in general, but applied to Ave Mujica is people need to stop trying to clinically represent accurately mental illness in shows like this, because mental illness is pretty fucking boring and not great television. It just makes me uncomfy. So I want to use Mutsumi as an example of this, because we get two Mutsumi being crazy scenes, right? Like two types. There are more than two. We get fun little puppet land where we learn that she's crazy. And I like those scenes, right? I'm like, this is fun. This is theatrical. Then we get scenes of her actually being horribly mentally ill and talking to a shoe.
Yep.
And it's really depressing. And I hate it.
Hello?
I just feel like yes, it is probably worthwhile to not completely make light of anxiety and sectioning yourself off and all of these things. I get that. Because I live with that stuff. You know what I mean? I don't want to see someone having a fucking breakdown. It doesn't advance the plot. It's not entertaining, and it makes me sad. So I don't know. I think that honestly is a bit of a hot take, but I would have preferred. I feel like I am capable of filling in the gaps of how she's acting in reality when I get fun puppet land Mutsumi, and it's more fun than talking to the shoe Mutsumi. That is my thought. That is my take. That's my hot take. I don't know what we think about that.
I can go first.
Remember 5 minutes ago. No, I was just going to make a joke that like 5 minutes ago he was praising Human Echo, literally 5 minutes ago for. And then this is your take on this show specifically, or the negatives of that being shown as if Umineko doesn't, and Higurashi and like all related media doesn't really dive into that stuff pretty heavily. I think that's a pretty funny contrast.
Yeah, I guess that is interesting. That, you know, it's there's like a supernatural cause between the stuff, at least in Higurashi, for like that sort of aspect. There is serious. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to say this is consistent. It's just a thing I thought. It made me uncomfortable watching Mutsumi talk to the fucking shoe, but I liked puppet Mutsumi.
Well, but there is something supernatural. There's literally a god of the lakes or whatever going on, or something, right? Like,
yeah, that's yes. The in what, Hig?
No. In Ave Mujica, their whole show is about being like
yes, but yes, that is a play. Yeah, yes.
Sorry, yes.
Sorry, I was confused about the other one where there's a god of the river.
That's a fair point. You know what? My joke bit itself in the ass. Pete, please save this this segment.
And to make Miles awkward still on this podcast, I'm gonna talk into my Xbox controller this whole time. Just so we could get the full immersion of my go. But I'm gonna agree with you, Miles, and disagree at the same time, because I don't think it's like what is being shown, it's who is showing it to us. So my biggest gripe with like the surrounding mental illnesses of the cast is more along the lines of like their ages. So one reason why like I loved Perfect Blue was because of the character was like had all these like real life experiences like over the course of 10 plus years to shape that character. And like after they're already like through the teenager's age, and I think I just prefer when we're dealing with like mental illnesses or whatever they're portraying in this type of show is more targeted towards like adults, because there are some situations that the characters are in where I'm just like, I think would be better if the character I would have more like life experience. I guess I would say that like if a 14-year-old said that they were like chronically depressed, you probably wouldn't take it as serious as like a 32-year-old saying it. The type of like those vibes, if you catch what I'm picking up. But like how it's so like the who is my issue, but like how it's portrayed, I think it's done in a manner where somebody like me I only have like crippling anxiety or something like that. Like luckily I don't have a split personality yet. I just think like how it's portrayed was done in a way where it was entertaining. And I saw Pat laughing. The fact that I'm talking to an Xbox controller it's all part of the bit, I promise.
It's pretty funny and the yet comments as well was well timed.
I guess it's just like how everything was portrayed was like fine. It was just more of in a manner that I didn't really like. The only one that I like really enjoyed was Mutsumi / Mortis. I think just how that went down was awesome. Everybody else, I thought like their issues was more hit and miss and didn't really like compel me in the way that a lot of people do like this show. Like the people that like really like this show are like gravitating towards these characters, gravitating towards their problems, trying to understand the character, trying to understand like the solutions that they go through and everything like that. And for me, it's just like, I'm not gravitating towards these characters except for one. And like the problems that they have are entertaining and like I'm understanding, but like in no way did it like hook me in the way that I kind of thought it would.
That's interesting. Okay, so what?
Down.
Okay,
let me hang up.
I guess one thing I would
halfway through that was pretty cool.
I'm getting another call on my left ear.
Yeah, wait. Let me pull a Soyo. I can make you feel normal, and I'll just talk to my controller.
And remember, in Bang Dream, anytime that you feel like you're put in a corner, just go, huh? And then you're fine.
Huh? So I guess about the I'm about to just flip my point.
Do it.
No, I fucking hate myself. Okay.
This is
you're making a point about like you like the
Miles,
the older.
This isn't Miles speaking. This is Adam speaking.
That's a throwback. Oh no, it's Miles and then Miles as well. But this is Adam speaking.
Miles,
unfortunately. Yeah. So, you were talking about how you oh God. Okay. I don't know. I should have expected this. This is my fault. Okay. So I first had to go see a psychiatrist when I was.
I'm sorry, I didn't know where you were going.
It's. I get it, right. Like I hate doing the thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't like, but like when I was like 12. Okay, so like, you were saying that like if and I wasn't chronically depressed, I had other issues, but like if a 14-year-old tells you that they're like heavily depressed or whatever, like you would take it less seriously. But like the way this stuff works is often it's not, and not that it can't be a result of like things that have happened in your life, right? But it is like a literal physiological incapability to like have enough serotonin or whatever, right? So like little 12-year-old Adam used to not brush his teeth because he was convinced that his parents poisoned his toothpaste like a normal child does. And I would sleep in different rooms so no one could notice like a pattern, so that if they came to kill me, I might have warning. Again, like a normal child. So to me, the age thing is like not at all a difference, because this is an age where mental illness can manifest.
For sure.
Pretty easily. And I guess another thing that I liked is that all of these characters don't necessarily have mental illness, like an underlying thing, right? Or like a trauma they are overcoming, like Mutsumi, where they've like literally like segregated part of their personality to protect themselves from the fact that their mother is a psychopath. Like their mother is so crazy that it made like a whole other girl go a little crazy.
Yeah,
that was insane. That was crazy.
You know, which is part of what I liked about this was like Umuri, the bassist. And you're saying you don't find these things as compelling, and I agree they're not as interesting as like the puppet shows and all the theatrics we got. But like she had a compelling arc where she like kind of learned how to commit. You know, like I did like the range of stuff that we got where it wasn't all serious, and I do agree with you. I think you said this at the beginning that it sort of over dramatizes some of this stuff, right? Because while Mutsumi is literally having her like psyche shattered into fragments, you know, Umuri is like, I guess I should quit these other bands I'm in so I don't seem like a flake and people can trust me. And it's like, that's a good arc to have. And that's like a normal girls band arc that we, you know, that it feels more like a My Go arc than like the Ave Mujica arc, right? Where you have like 3 people who have like a literal shattered psyche. Then you have like someone who's like a literal like secret identity, like they have because their father was like, and this is a weirdly common plot in Japanese media, but their rich father had an affair, and so like they have to pretend to be someone completely different as to not like shatter some business conglomerate. It's weird how common that is.
Especially I don't because, like. Can't you just write people out of wills? Like maybe I'm not.
She was written out of the will, but it's the fact that like I guess it's like it must be like a Japanese thing, right? Because like if a CEO has an affair here at a Coldplay concert, you just fire the head of HR that he was banging, you know. But I guess there are consequences for that in Japan. I don't know, because that was the concern, right? Was that because he married into the family. The grandfather did, and then also took a prominent business role. But if it came out that he was like cheating on the woman that he married into the family for, you know, maybe he would get written out or whatever. So he provided for Uika / Hatsune, but she wasn't in the will. Like she brings that up to Sakiko, who's like, yeah, I don't fucking care if you're in the will. That's not what I'm asking about. Jesus Christ, you weirdo. Like, which I thought was a funny scene where she was like, yeah, legally I'm not your family. And it's just like who fucking cares about legally? Like, that's not what I'm curious about. What actually happened? Jesus Christ. You know, so I guess I like the way that it was. The Mutsume stuff, I guess, because of the connection of being at an age and having admittedly not quite as bad issues and stuff, it just made me uncomfy because I don't like remembering all of that sort of stuff. Another, you know, and how her friends kind of are just like, we can't deal with this. This is a lot, and it is a lot. Right. But it's always, I talked about this during one of our episodes. Like, you know, the fear is always like with the mental illness stuff, like, I don't want to be a burden for people. Right. And Mutsumi's friends for a period of time there are like, hey, you're kind of a burden, which I get. It's just unfortunate. Yeah. It's unfortunate. But, you know, I guess it just makes me uncomfy in that. And I'm saying uncomfy as a shield to make it less serious, right? I'm using a not serious
We all know
word.
what you're saying.
But, you know, that I guess that was my thought. Like, I kind of, for me, some of it was just too real. And I guess, like, while you liked that real part, I sort of wish it was all, like, a little bit more fluffy for my girls band show, I guess.
The girls band show that you guys wanted murder to happen in.
I didn't want murder to happen. I just want to say I didn't want murder to happen.
Okay, fair enough. And take revoked by me then. No, that's fair.
It was like in the middle of the bingo card, and that was always crazy to me because this writer and director, they got more leeway than they would normally have in like a Bang Dream show, which I think is pretty obvious from the show.
Oh, yeah.
But people were like, and actual murder is going to happen. I'm like, there's no way there's that much leeway, and I don't even know if I would want that much leeway. Like, what if Mutsume just got murdered? That would be
Ooh.
crazy. I feel like the people who play the gacha game would be very upset at that.
Podcast question. You have to pick somebody in either Mygo or Ave Mujica. One of them has to kill somebody. Who are you picking? Somebody has to kill somebody.
Oh, we can two birds, one stone this, okay? Nyamu can kill Anon. So Anon is fucking dead, and Nyamu goes to prison, and we don't have to deal with either of them.
Oh, I see. You're taking out your two least favorite.
I don't know, all of them to themselves.
Damn.
That was a joke. I like Nyamu. I actually like Nyamu. Sorry, Miles. I just killed Miles with that joke. There we go. No, they were. I like Uika a lot too. I don't know who I guess Anon. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Soyo's pretty awful too, though.
You guys are crazy. I'm not picking anybody. Why would you want them to be murdered? What's wrong with you people?
You can't flip on us like
yes,
that.
I can.
You just said you wanted murder
baby.
20 seconds ago.
Woo!
I can't wait. I can't wait for Trent to pull up the edits of all the times in anime club chat in our Discords. Join the Discord, by the way. Sick plug, Pat. But yeah, thanks, Pat. Every time Pete has begged for murder in this show, I can guarantee you there's at least two. At least that's more than one, and way more than zero, infinitely more than zero.
Soyo has the mild redemption arc where she actually like provides help to Mutsumi and sort of gets over the fact that she was such a bitch, for lack of a better word, in Maiko in that whole scenario. Like if this was just starting and we're like, who do we want to die? I think I would agree with the Soyo answer, but I think she just made the cut.
Oh, he's the goat. What's the
or didn't.
Yeah, okay, anyways, thank you for humoring me on the general how they handled the mental health sort of stuff. I don't know if anyone else has anything else on that.
I just wanted to affirm that I totally get where you're coming from with that. And even as someone who hasn't necessarily struggled with it or experienced it in ways that you have, I can definitely relate and understand because, people in my life have it. And it's a totally understandable feeling to have about this show, especially like you said, because it's very tonally different in the ways that it's portrayed as well, like throughout the characters. And then especially compared to the original Mygo, right? Like it's very, very different. So I could see that being very jarring and not ideal for sure.
And Miles, I 100% get where you're coming from because like I'm like the same way, but like in a different aspect because like I publicly make it known that like I don't want to watch like sad stuff. Like it affects me probably in the same way it affects you right now. Like I don't want to watch those style of shows, and I appreciate you for being a trooper and watching it and coming on here and talking about it.
Yeah, and it depends on, and I think the same thing for you too, right? Because sometimes you watch something like that, like those Violet Evergarden episodes, right? And that hit perfect for you, even though it broached that subject matter. And sometimes I watch these things and it'll really hit, and then sometimes it's not that it's bad, it's not that I don't think it should be made or anything, it's just like it makes me personally a little uncomfortable, which is probably good. It's probably good to shed that light on that sort of like, don't make it seem happy, fun puppet show all the time, right? Like show the difficulty of it, Sometimes it was just always like when people are like, oh, I'm so OCD. Like I have to organize my stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's neat. I, couldn't leave my house for weeks at a time before. Like, that's
a little different,
sort of. Yeah, exactly. Like that's sort of the issue. That I understand that they did a good job of breaching, but like I guess like the downside of that is when you go into that uncomfortable territory, it can sort of throw you off.
Yep.
And it can feel a little whiplashy, when you're going from Mutsumi to even like Nyamu, who I enjoyed her little arc, but it's just so inconsequential comparatively, where she was like, wow, she was basically like, wow, I wish I was fucking crazy so that I could be talented at music too, like, which is just a really obnoxious viewpoint to have. When she's talking to Mutsumi's mom and everything, which I thought was very interesting too, like that whole dynamic. Because what a bad parent um, in a show with bad parents. Like, I don't know. This is like, I guess another talking point I would like to bring up. We can sort of move to here is how you think the general characterization of everyone was done. Because I thought that setting piece with Mutsume's mom in Nyamu was great, where they're watching, the mom's watching herself act, and they're both like sobbing at it, and it was this very self-indulgent, where Nyamu is sucking up to try to get something, and the mom's like, "I'm so good at acting," and
I brought myself to tears. Yeah, that was
exactly. Yeah, and I thought that was a really, to me, that was almost everything I needed to justify Mutsume's future mental break. An episode later, I was like, I get it. I understand what she was probably going through. What a terrible scenario to be in with a parent like that, where they're just completely self-obsessed. But what about all the other characters too? Or do you disagree with my take on Mutsumi there, though? It sounds like we all thought that her little arc was interesting in one way or the other. Do you think that you wish anyone had better setup, or also had good, or whatever?
Pat, you want to go first?
I can go first real quick. I was gonna say I can go quick. I liked Sakiko and her father's setup because I appreciate that it wasn't just, oh, he is a bad guy because he's a bad guy, or he's a drunk and he's the worst, and to be very clear, he's not objectively not being a good father or a good parent in this situation.
But he got fucked.
Yeah.
He got fucked multiple times with losing his wife at a very young age, and then it sounds like getting blamed for a business endeavor that went poorly that wasn't even him, according to the translation.
That's correct.
The subtitles is what okay. I thought I wanted to make sure I understood that it wasn't just like he fucked up and had to take the fall.
He married in and was a useful fall guy at that point.
Right. Exactly. So it's seeing that was you could see why he's going through it. So I appreciate that they made him redeemable in some way, and even their interactions, the way that he and Sekiko talk to each other, whenever he picks her up drunk from the police station, the drunk tank, whatever, there was some sort of attempt to make it more, I guess, more layered than your traditional, oh, it's just a drunk, abusive father at home or family member at home that doesn't care. I really liked their characterization, especially too, Sakiko was able to show the difficulty that comes with that of having a parent or guardian figure that does need you to age up. Basically, you take charge at, I mean, how old are they? They're what, 14, 15, something like that?
Their first years, so they're 15, 16. Yeah. Because they're like sophomores, basically.
Sophomores. Yeah. That's crazy to have to be a sophomore in high school and picking up your dad from a drunk tank and making dinners, cleaning up after him, learning all of these things. You age up real quick, and it shows in how Sakiko both is non-groomery, mature for her age, but also very immature as well in some of her interactions with her friends and wanting to cling to the past and things like that. I think it does a really good job of showing how it has benefits. Benefits is maybe the wrong word. It makes her battle tested, but also very flawed as a person as well. And maybe that's a better way to phrase it. And I thought that was awesomely done throughout, especially the start of the show, but it kind of just continues through the entire show. That's probably my favorite part of the show. You made me compliment the show. I'm very,
look, I'm here to do that. That is, I think that's very good. I think that it does a good job of showing why her dad is the way he is, and to make us sympathize with him, but also show us that that doesn't mean he's correct, but we understand how this happened, and we can feel sorry, so that if he does improve himself in the future, it feels like maybe he can earn that forgiveness from her at some point because of the scenario. I actually really like the point you made about her split maturity. She has to be so mature in her home life that things where she was basically like one of the things that like was the straw on the camel back for Musume, where she was like I need someone on my side. Like, makes a ton of sense where she was being a little like whiny and needy because she doesn't have parents. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't have a parental figure. She's busy being a parent at 15, 16, whatever, and so how that all played into each other sort of makes sense. Pete,
my turn.
you said you had, I don't know, it's your go.
It's my go.
I don't know if you want to piggyback on Sakiko, or if you want to talk about someone else.
I guess I'm just going to talk about like the core 5, because I think that this is one of the strongest points in the entire series, is sort of establishing the characters themselves and the reasons behind of why they are all acting the way that they are, or who they are as a person. And it's all, I feel like every character is explained sort of why. I do want to like shout out like the varying levels of like intensity of their characters. I like that like not everybody is at 100, and I like that like there's nobody at like 0 either. Well, I guess Mutsumi's probably at 100 at some points, but like, like someone like Umiri, who is the tamest of the 5, maybe. Like, I like if you had to pick
Yamu,
yeah,
right?
it's like you have like those levels of characters establishing with like, Uika is like somewhere in the middle, I would say, and then like Mutsumi and Psycho are like higher up, with like one with like actual like mental, and the other with like the lifestyle things that she has going on with her life. Like, I just thought like how they blended all of that together and just made like a really tight core 5. I liked it way better than how they set up with Maigo. Maigo felt like more of a I don't know, cookie cutter, put the team together type of thing. This one felt a little bit more like when you start a band, like it's not like 5 of your best friends every time. Sometimes it's like 4 other randoms who are really good, and like they all showcase their talents of why they are main stage like players. And like I just really enjoyed how they showcase those characters, how they got to where they are, and then sort of like how those influences from like their past are it's like still present in their life and affecting them now currently. So overall, I thought like the characterization of the cast was phenomenal, and it was one of the better parts of the entire series.
I like that Nyamu had a very supportive and loving family too, right?
Need more of that.
Because like Umiri, we don't get a ton of backstory on, but we get the sense that her parents aren't the biggest fans of her in one way or the other. She's like a throwaway line that's basically like, being in bands lets me not get in my parents' way.
And she's like always joining
like,
bands, right? To like
yes,
run away from, I don't know, maybe
home,
a thing of run
basically.
away. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she even says it, but again, it's not, we don't look into her a ton during this. She's a bit of a stabilizing act. And I wonder if, in the season 3, Maigo / Ave Mujica, Pat's Worst Nightmare, where both casts have a predominant role as opposed to a supporting role, where you then have 10 main characters instead of 5.
With 2 different names for almost every character involved, or at least half the characters involved.
For Ave Mujica, right? This was another thing that I'd like to talk about really quick that I just noticed. I just noticed on my second watch of this, is that they all deal with identity issues.
100%.
This is dumb of me. I should have noticed this on my first issue, but there is a tied together theme on their issues and not knowing who they are, and that plays in sort of with Namu taking the masks off, so that like protection of who they like really are is like now gone, and then these issues flare up now that the masks are gone. There's a lot of good like theatrics and stuff there. I don't know, Pete, this was a rewatch for you. Did you pick up on anything you didn't pick up on the first time?
Oh, 100%. There's like signs from like episode, but it's just one of those things where it's like when you watch it the first time, like it could be a red herring, it could be like whatever, and then you watch it the second time, you're like, yeah, this is exactly where they're heading towards. I guess it was more of just like because like I knew everything coming into it, so there wasn't like one specific moment that was like a aha. It was more of just like the overall like watching experience, picking up like little like more than anything. It's probably like the dialogue. Like the dialogue gives clues away a lot, and so maybe that was probably more of my focus of like picking up stuff of like how they're saying it, what they're saying, things along those lines.
Yeah, I think that another thing that I did this time, and I think this is something that I mean, Pat, you're never going to rewatch this, but like in a world where you do, right? Because I rewatched this, I didn't think, yeah, that's true. I'm going to nominate it for Watch Club
Pat's
again.
otaku daughter in like 17 years or something. He's watching Ave Mujica. He's at the concert with her with the glow sticks.
Yeah, I would be proudly.
Completely deadpan, just
yay.
The Incredibles meme or whatever. Yeah, that's.
Meanwhile, I'm there with my future 17-year-old daughter who wants to go to an Eagles concert. And Pat and I are just like two ships passing the night to where we would rather be.
That would be pretty damn funny.
But a thing that I did that I didn't do last time is like the first time I watched this, again, I was very busy. I was trying to watch this because it was something I wanted to watch, but I couldn't invest my time in, is that some of the tertiary main characters, I guess, like the secondary and tertiary main characters, so like your Amiris, your Namu, and like Uika to start with, though she obviously becomes more prominent, I didn't really pay attention to them as much because I wanted to skip to the action. But like as I paid more attention to what they were doing, I noticed how well it sort of like tied in to everything on a rewatch, where I was more engaged, I guess, as opposed to being like, I just want to see Sakiko and Mutsumi be crazy in different ways.
Yeah.
Which I thought was good because it really made me enjoy their characters more, because there was stuff there. It was just it was very understated compared to the main show, I guess. Which is there. And then like getting a slightly better grasp on the interplay between, because I don't like Maigo that much. So watching this again, but having a better understanding of who the Maigo characters were, except for the one who thinks she's a cat, she still didn't do anything. The character did nothing.
Rana?
Yeah.
They looked at the stars.
Rana doesn't.
Oh, no, that was
Rana
a
doesn't
different
do
character.
anything.
They went and pet cats. Her and
yeah,
Mortis.
Her hobbies are listed as playing with cats.
Yep, and that's what she did. She pet the hell out of those cats in one of those episodes.
This was another thing that I kind of liked, is that I thought the My Go characters got, besides Rana, a little more fleshed out in this too, even though they were kind of limited in what they had. Like we talked about it earlier, Soyo had some benefit to like talking to Mutsume and stuff, and Anon I thought was a lot better as like a side character who made jokes sometimes, and sometimes was like, I do the righteous thing because that's who my character is, but like only occasionally, as opposed to being the main character. So I don't know. There was that.
I have some topics if you want me to.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, okay. So there's two things. First one was, did everybody have a favorite episode? Because to me, there was two that stood out to me for different reasons. The first one was episode 4, which is where we essentially learned that Mutsumi can't play guitar, and it sort of like implodes the group. And so what I really liked about that episode was the whole thing of they had a hiccup the episode prior, and they're doing everything to sort of like bounce back from that. And they all kind of like give their reasons to why they're doing what they're doing. And Mutsumi's like getting the gang back together, and they're ready to go on stage. And then she's just like, okay, now that I got everybody here and ready to go, by the way, I can't play guitar. And something about that was just like, you're doing everything, like it's like everything for the right reason, but at the same time it was for the wrong reason, because like you're doing all of this to essentially fail your friend. Like they can't perform if you can't play guitar. And so how they set up that episode was like, I just thought it was phenomenal. I really enjoyed that. But the one that like was my favorite, and I don't know if this is a controversial take or how you guys feel it, was episode 11. Because the whole time I was like, there's no way that Yuika is going to be doing this stage performance the entire episode. And then she pretty much did. It was awesome.
I like that
I was
episode.
like, it's just like, it never stopped. And I was just like, oh, it's still going. Oh, it's still ramping up. Like, this is great. I thought like, especially because that's kind of like when we got like the bombshell of finding out like who her father was, and then getting like an entire because like I guess when we get like those scenes or whatever, like the next episode they'll spend like a minute or two touching on the subject or whatever. It's the whole damn episode after that about her. I just thought that was fantastic how they laid that out. Really good job at making this like 13 episodes, because I think if you did like a 12th episode, episode 11 would be significantly shorter, and that's where they would cut time. But luckily they had 13 episodes and we could get all of episode 11. So those are my two favorite, and those are the standouts. How about you guys?
Really quick, Pete. Actually, if they just cut the shots of Umiri's ass from episode 13, they would have saved 2 episodes.
What's that mean? It's like my
my budget. It's what's wrong with my budget? Like $5 food, $5 drink, like $5 electric.
Ass $2,000.
Yeah,
it's like it's been
like why
it was.
It's like my ass is iconic or something like that. Like
yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah, we'll talk about that after, because that's it's weird for like 7 reasons. It was weird, but I liked episode 11 as you mentioned, and then episode 3. Let me give you the names real quick because they're all in Latin and they have like cool translations and stuff.
They do,
which is cool just like another thing that I like fuck with. We were talking about like how much I like the vibe, right? Just like throwing in random Latin words. I'm like, yeah, that's great art. Using that Google Translate is, I'm sure they had someone smarter than that in Latin. But 11 is I love you until I turn to ashes, te ustus, amen. And then 4 is the play is over, acta est fabula. So that's exciting. I really liked episode 3 because we get the Higurashi liar moment on like the ceiling, right? And then like I thought Mutsume's like mood swings in that were like really good and compelling, where she was like playing very nice until she figured out she wasn't going to get what she wanted, and like sort of completely dropped that act, and then sort of like did the little head tilt thing, like the I'm creepy and the girl from the Ring head tilt, not like the Shaft head tilt. The kind of uncanny, yeah. Pete's doing the Shaft one. That's but this was more of like a
yeah.
Oh god,
everyone do your favorite head tilt.
We are playing with fire. We are too old and decrepit for this.
I went to physical therapy today for my neck, and
so yes, we are too old.
Don't make any. Well, I've had the issues since I was like 14, slightly after I went crazy, and the physical therapist just like looked at me and was like, "Huh, been a while, huh? Probably should have come in earlier." And I was like, "Yeah." Aren't you so smart?
Okay,
like, yeah. You want to do this for free? Why don't you do this for free for me then? If you're so concerned about me, yeah. I'm just saying. Like, why do you think I wasn't there? Not because I don't want to be here, because I can't pay for it.
Yeah. It's like, well, it got really worse because I ignored it for 25 years. So, episode 10, I hate and I love you. There's good stuff here. Pat, did you have a favorite episode despite mostly being bored with the show?
The part where they said carpe diem to go along with your Latin stuff. That was cool.
Okay.
I thought that was fun. No. I enjoyed episode 11 from I guess not like a production standpoint. Yeah, like I thought it was a cool storytelling mechanism, maybe is the best way to put that. I thought that was very fun, and like you guys said, I was not expecting it to keep going and going and going, and I was impressed by that. I also agree with was it episode 4, the dissociation that I guess maybe that's not the right word or mental health term, but like we see that happening in real time. I thought that was pretty cool too. So I'd say those are my two favorites too. So, and maybe that speaks to my, okay. That maybe speaks to, again, like why I'm so frustrated. Cause like, it felt like once the band broke up, the show to me was pretty boring until they got back together, like fully back together, which, maybe there's a point to that and yada, yada, but
I think this is an interesting thing to bring up is there are like 5 episodes in the 13 episode run of Ave Musica where Ave Musica is a band.
How
It's
many
like,
performances are there too? There's like 5 at most, like, or is it? Well, maybe I guess if you include the MyGo stuff too, like there's a little bit more.
so,
But
this brings me to my second hot take, but I could save it.
Go for it.
Okay.
let her rip.
Well, really quickly, so Ave Musica has a performance. They have one in like episode 2, and then they don't really have another one until 10, where they do Imprisoned 12 and Crucified 10.
Is it 3 where she turns into a puppet, or is that 2?
It must be 2. That's the puppet
Oh,
one,
maybe I'm getting
because
my numbers mixed up then.
well, no, they don't play anything because you can't play guitar,
That's
so they just do
right.
a play.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that is 3, right? And like, how blessed to have such an act where you're a musical act, but there's like this entire other thing going. So like, you don't play any music, and everyone's like, "Yeah, that kind of fucked."
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
It's
like,
they thought it was kind of weird in the moment. They did say that, like that was weird.
But what you think about
how'd she
it?
hide? Yeah, once I think about it, it makes even less sense. That's my favorite kind of thing. What? How did she get away with? Like, did they just not audition together? I don't know if they really explained that, but like, how do they? Like, oh yeah, by the way, I don't play guitar. Like at the last.
Well, she does play guitar, but because she's dissociating, she doesn't play guitar. And they talked about how they didn't have time to do their warm-ups because of something, right? So they were like, we just have to go on, and then that's why. That's how.
Got it. Yeah.
But she also stops mid beginning of the performance as well, I think, right? So
yeah,
because she messes up and then immediately stops and then does the puppet thing.
Yep. Which is so funny because your camera just died, so you became the puppet.
Okay.
When you did that,
cool.
that was great.
I heard the lag too, so yeah.
Okay, here's my hot take. This is a hot take, and I'm sorry for everyone. MyGo and Cry Chic suck as a band. They're not my taste. They suck, and Tamori can't sing, and that is my take. I just don't like it. It's very raw and emotional, and also she can't sing.
When they did the performance with like 3 people in there, I would agree, but then they did like the performance later, and I really like that one.
So the one where they did like the Cry Chic quasi reunion, right, with a few people, I was like, this sounds bad, but then I realized she was like crying right? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, you're allowed to sound bad when you're actively crying. This is emotional, and it sounded emotional, so like props to that. Like the voice actress does a good job there. But then they had the more cleaned up thing, and even when they're like, when MyGo is like going on for like the opener, I guess, for Ave, or they're in like a battle of the bands or whatever, the last episode, I didn't think it was very good. And I think this sort of speaks to, looking back on MyGo, my favorite thing was when she was doing like the spoken word stuff.
Yeah,
it was like my favorite performance.
The slam poetry.
Yeah. So this take is less hot than my previous take, which is you should intentionally poorly represent mental health as to be more entertaining. But this is, I like Tamori as a character, and I don't care if she ever sings again, though. And I hope she doesn't.
I think I'm in the same boat.
Okay, cool. I'll take it.
You just needed to like lower your standards from the high standards you listened to last week's episode of Anime Jeopardy, where
yes, that's so true.
That's what the problem was there. I'm sorry to have done that to you. I can't believe I've ruined MyGo's music for you.
Yeah, please don't sing Kiss Kill or Kill Kiss for me, because then it'll ruin one of my favorite OPs of the year.
It'll become
and I just
Final Jeopardy next time I run it.
The final boss.
The final boss of DMCA free openings. There we go. If you're wondering what we're talking about, go watch our Jeopardy episode that we just recorded. It was competitive, is one way to put it.
If you want to see me choke away a lead, the same way Ave Musica choked away a lead when they broke up.
The best storyline from that episode is a certain person's comeback, and that's all I'm going to say. I think that was the most impressive thing that I saw, other than most of the answers being correctly answered by a certain few people.
Literally everyone came back except for me, because I had the lead until near the end.
Rip.
Hey, I didn't come back in it either, to be fair.
That's true. You were hosting.
I just existed. But yes.
Oh my gosh. God, there's a lot that I feel like. Does anyone else have any other topics, or
I was going to ask
you
what
want me
you
to-
wanted to see in the next season, but if you got something more
okay? Oh
compelling,
yeah, you wanted to do that. No, I don't. That's fine. That's good.
That's a good question too, because like I have no idea what I would want, so I'm very curious. What you would like?
Okay.
Miles?
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, Pat. When we forced you to watch this by a democratic vote in like a year and a half, what?
It will not be that long, but yes.
Well, it needs to come out first.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would be next week. What would you like to see? I can answer first if you want time to think, and then we can kick it to Pete.
I do.
And then we can have you do it, or here, I guess, or there. One of those ways. So, I would like to see more Amiri backstory, bassist girl, just because we got the least from her. I would like to see some competition between Mygo and Ave Mujica now that they've sort of mended fences, some sort of like friendly, though actual competitive spirit, between the two. The whole Cry Chic arc is done now, I think. They've sort of mended those bridges and gone their separate ways. They sort of ended up where they belonged, and it acknowledged how important the band was to them. But now they're doing their own thing. So I would like to see that. Obviously, I would like to see Mutsumi sort of reconcile her mental health stuff. And even though I think Namu is the worst, I think her getting some sort of sense of real self-worth would be nice as well. And I would like to see Namu murder Anon, as I had mentioned earlier. So, Pete, what would you like to see from a sequel?
Two things. One, I think we got to see a little bit more of Tomari's growth in this. And so I would really like to see her in the next season be a main character without, like in scenes, without a supporting character. A lot of times with her character, it's always her and somebody else. Very rarely it's just her. And when it is just her, it's like she's looking at the stars, she's looking at her rocks, stuff like that. Like I want to see her in action by herself. I would really like to see that. And then also I would like to see Ave Mujica and Mygo become the Japanese equivalent of Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Or was that two bands that came together?
I don't know. There's just a bunch of people in Earth, Wind, and Fire. So that's the first band that came to my head that had 14 people in it. So
I don't know if this will be hot or not. I would hate that, mostly because I adore the music from Ave Mujica. Yeah. And I don't like Mygo. Like Ave Mujica was my number one. I don't know if I said this in the episode proper. It was my number one played artist this year, and it wasn't from anything we heard, from EPs, and so I just like their entire discography a lot. And I don't want Mygo ruining that for me. I just I'm not. This isn't here to yuck the Mygo yum. I want to keep it separate. Yep. I like to keep all of my food separated by texture.
By text.
That's so funny. By text.
Pat knows what's up.
Pat knows what's up. If talking about food, I eat. If I have a plate of 4 different things, I eat them one at a time. I don't. I never mix at all. Yeah.
No. Why would you do that? Like some sort of crazy person.
But if they were meant to be eaten in one bite, they would have been put together like a hamburger to be put in one bite, or in a stew, or in some sort of what capacity, No. Okay. Well, so to answer the more important question of what would I want to see, my joke / semi-serious answer to make this show actually more enjoyable for me would be for them to switch genres entirely and start playing yacht rock, or start playing some sort of rock at the very
they play rock.
Elvis rock. Okay, that is metal.
It is classic
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that wouldn't be terrible, but I'm more talking traditional rock in the like Chuck Berry and like that style rock. I think would be really fun, and it would sound so stupid coming out of that band. To be very clear, this idea is not well fleshed out.
Nope.
But I would okay, fine. I'll compromise. Give me Foo Fighters. Give me Foo Fighters music instead of this, and not that this is bad. It's just not my music. I don't listen to it. So that would bring me back into this show for another season in a much better capacity. Show the dad getting redemption of some kind, assuming he earns it. Like, I would like to see him earn it because I feel like he's just been like, I don't want to see him kicked while he's down. That would be great. And I'm sure they will do that because it seems like they've set it up that way. Are there any other male characters in this show now that I think about it?
The grandpa and the dad. And
Okay.
the
Are there
random
any
butlers.
others? That's
Yeah, there's like some managers and stuff. I mean, it doesn't help that it's girls bands, and so like everyone who's in a band is a girl.
No, of course. No, well,
well, no, I guess I
news
just
to
mean that
me.
in so far as like a lot of the not band characters are men, but there's like 3 of them.
Sure.
Like,
right. I guess that's a fair point. I guess like I don't know, throw in another band that they have to have a battle with or something. Maybe and it's weird. Me, the guy who hates character bloat a lot of the time, is asking for more characters here. But the way my thought process is if I like those characters more, then I will want to watch the show more. So maybe that'll be my answer. But no, the real answer is for them to just be like Steely Dan and just start ripping it on all these different instruments, which Steely Dan did. And
speaking of Steely Dan, there is a part where they're backed by a flute in one of the things, and I literally thought of you specifically, Pat, when I was like, I know he will appreciate this flute here in this rock song.
It's gonna be, it's cool. It's a different kind of rock. And again, like the music, I wish I liked that style of music more. I'm much more focused on I guess the story of a song a lot of the time, which is harder, to be fair to them. Again, even more fair than I ever should have been, is that I can't rely reliably on translators to do justice to the poetry of the song and its original lyrics in Japanese. It's just not how translations work.
It's very hard to translate a song.
Right. like it just doesn't work. So I think it's, again, I for this show to be what I want, it would have to completely switch. So I don't want that to happen because I know how much people love it, and I think that is totally fair, and I see why they do. So there's my answer. My long-winded, what would you do?
Love it.
Okay.
Do we want to do closing thoughts, or do you have time for one more maybe? Or
I guess just really quick, I want to not even like a topic unless anyone can think of something from this. There's a lot of depth to the show that we're not able to reach in this hour. We have an amazing member of our community named Champ Eagle, who does a ton of research on these shows and has sent us a lot of things about, like, there's a little ARG that Uika's voice actress did, where she said, I'm like, in reality, I'm like Misume or whatever, like her fake name is, and just like all of this, like if you take the first character from each of her Instagram posts, a lot of interesting posts about how like much the voice actresses hung out together and went on tour together in order to like really show this these relationships. And we didn't talk about the technical aspects of this very much, but the voice acting in the show is very good. Like, they do a very good job of this sort of like dramatic, melodramatic yearning, and so there's a lot of emotion in there. You know, Pat was saying he likes the story of the songs. That is definitely there. If you again, if you want to dive in, it's not something you can pick up like a song in your native language, but with the plays, with all of this, there's a bunch of theming. Even their stage names have theming. There's a whole mask on, mask off. Like, which, like, are you actually, like, how are you more exposed or more unknown? Like, is it with your mask on or with it off? Like, like they're Bane or something. There's a lot to get into that we just don't have the time to, unfortunately. So we sort of, and maybe that's probably not why you're listening either, for us to like go through each performance and be like, well, this is what this song's about, and here's the story and how it foreshadows the blah. But there's a lot of that. If you want to get into that,
if you want to get into it, where can you find it? Yeah, there we go.
You can join the Discord.
I just want to say, like, what I appreciate, even though this is the type of show that I don't really want to like deep dive into. I love the fact that it's there for people who want to. So I mean, that's like Evangelion for me. So this is somebody's Evangelion. So shout out to all the Ave Evangelion fans.
You heard it here first, folks.
They're the same show. What can I say? They both.
That's my Lazarus. So there you go.
Evil, older, intimidating male character, mental illness,
robots, giant robots,
defending
mental
Tokyo,
illness,
defending Tokyo. Like that's all there. They're the same show.
Eyes that aren't the same color.
Yes.
Overt Christianity themes.
Yes, so much of Christianity themes in Ave Mujica. The M in Ave Mujica. That's a Majin symbol. I'm just saying, somebody could be a Majin.
There is a V in the middle of Ava and Ave. Oh my God! Wait, they're backwards. If you put Ava in a mirror, and you show its true reflection, it's Ave.
We broke the system.
Neon Ave Mujica.
Yes, and if you put Genesis Evangelion in a mirror, it says Mujica, the die is cast. Don't look it up.
I can't believe we did it. We broke the code. We did it, guys. Woo!
Now it makes sense. I don't like either of these. There you go.
We are officially retiring the podcast after that one. Oh man, I'm drooling a little bit.
How they both run out of budget on their second to last episode. This does not happen. And in this show, and they just say hey, congratulations in Ava, and they just show Umuri's ass in the final. Wait, can we talk about that really quick?
We can't. We're actually
do that in your closing thoughts, Miles.
Okay,
yeah.
Sure.
Talk about this first year high schooler's ass real quick.
I was about to say I have no interest in talking about her ass. So
well, to me, it's very weird from a production. This could be my closing thoughts. Because like this entire series is like very like sterile, right? Like it doesn't suffer from any amount in the other 2 seasons I have watched of this and the first 12 episodes of this of any fan service. There was none of it. The show, say what you will, it generally treats its women characters like their characters and not sex objects. And it's just for whatever reason, this last episode we get like 3 full minutes of Umuri's butt, just very weirdly,
do you want
like
me to
a way that I probably
timing.
We know it. Shout out to.
Did he post that? Oh, so I missed that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. shout out to Eagle for posting that.
Yeah, we have like percentages and everything as well.
Yeah.
Which is he posted the thing. So it's the songs were 5 minutes and 42 seconds. Umuri was in focus for 40 seconds, and her ass was emphasized in 40%. Those were also the longest shots.
Makes sense.
It's weird. It was weird. It was a weird thing, and it didn't like ruin the show for me or anything because the show is mostly not like that. But it was just sort of weird that it happened, like Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Like is it setting up? You think it's setting up for what the
ecchi arc in the next episode?
No, but maybe the idea of maybe she gets a stalker and then she actually becomes a relevant character in the show. Like like that's
oh my god, what a turn that would be if it was like setting up like some sort of like male gazy thing. Like, oh, you all noticed her ass, you fucking weirdos. Though I will say that's a bit obnoxious from the directorial staff when you put something in focus that much. You're like, oh, you noticed
Miles,
the thing we put in focus?
What's a show that commented on that type of thing in like in an episode or maybe a movie? I'm hitting that.
Are you getting that Perfect Blue?
No, we mentioned it earlier. There's a specific scene. There's a really specific scene with somebody's hand, and it's like made, and he has some like stuff on his hand, and he's looking at a girl.
Evangelion?
Yeah. Just saying.
It's
the
amazing.
Parallels are there.
Yeah, okay. There we go. I'm so fucked up. The artistry of that scene is that wasn't in focus. Anyways, the hand was, but not to break down that scene. It's been broken down enough. I don't know. I really like the show. I liked it a lot more on a second watch through. I never scored this. I think it was like a 7.5 for me the first time that I like rounded up. Now I think it's like an 8.5 for me, but I think I'm still going to give it an 8. So
That's fair.
yeah, I'm torn between an 8 and a 9, and so I might raise it, but I don't want to. I was cooler on it initially. I am higher on it on this rewatch. If I continue to be higher on it as I continue to think about it as time goes on, I will bump it up, especially if I like the sequel. But for now, I'm going to say 8 out of 10.
Ooh.
8 out of 10. All right. Pete, how about you?
Yeah, I guess for me, more along the lines of my enjoyment of the show is just more of what I was looking for and like this style of show and the type of cast I like. I just would prefer this style of show to be not first year high school girls. That's pretty much my biggest complaint. Outside of that, we've mentioned so many things. The music was fantastic. Kill Kiss is more than likely my OP of the year. Just throughout the entire show, the songs that they presented were great. The snippets were great. Really enjoyed what we got from that aspect. I'm looking forward to more, but more than anything, this is just like why my score is going to be an 8 is just like I think structurally it's fantastic. It's really well made. The technical elements are great. It's just not a show that I gravitate towards, look into more, fall in love with, that type of thing. So I appreciate what we got and how it was presented. And shout out to everybody who loves it. Like, all right, sick. But yeah, I mean, like I can see why somebody gave the show a 2. I can see why somebody gave the show a 10. Like I can see all of that. But I liked what I got. I'm gonna give it an 8.
An 8. All righty. Yeah, it's hard for me. Like, because again, I spent a lot of my pre-show thoughts specifying how much I really did not care for this show. Nice. It's tempting, Miles. That number is a tempting number. However, I'm going to stick to my guns on this one. I had it at a 5 out of 10, mainly because, like what Pete just said, I could see why someone would completely hate this show, but I do think it has merit artistically. Like, I think it does things well, but at the same time, I was so freaking bored, and I really did not enjoy my time watching this show. But again, though, it is impressive technically. I think like you guys mentioned earlier, the voice acting, they do a good job of being not perfect at singing, which is hard to do if you're a good singer and like you just naturally want to be correct or whatever. Like there's a lot of little moments where I think they do an excellent job with that. The characterization of quite a few of these characters is great, even if there is a lot of difference between the two of them, or between, let's say, two of them. It's I am impressed by something that again was based off of a mobile game or started from a mobile game. It's like, which I guess you could say like, oh, like Pokemon was based off of just an idea in a trading card game or whatever. But like it's pretty cool to see such a massive franchise being seemingly built in front of us. So Miles is gonna open up another trading card
pack?
set during. Yeah, let's see. Let's rip this other pack. I guarantee you're gonna get one of those autograph cards. Even though you said earlier you're not going to. But
it's very unlikely. Yes.
Wow.
Kiko. We got a Musume. Ooh, shiny. Yeah,
shiny?
We have a secret rare here.
This is really good audio content.
Where our energy.
Whoa, masked.
Woo!
Ooh, foil so
and shiny.
Foil, and there we go.
There you go. Yeah. So okay. So and speaking of that, actually, Miles, that's a great point that Miles and I talked about this before we started recording a lot. But we were talking about like the gacha culture that is inherently around this show simply because of that app or the mobile game existing, and like why is it taking the show so big in Japan versus here in the U.S. And I don't know. I thought it was a very interesting discussion that we had about it.
I wish we had talked about it. Well,
yeah. Well, if only there was a place to do it. But no. But just to summarize, though, it is interesting culturally how different we as countries enjoy and consume gacha content. And I think I am a perfect personification of someone that, while they hate gacha and think it is the most horrible thing ever, in college, a lot of my free money went to FIFA Ultimate Team packs. So I'm not immune to it. I consume my gacha differently.
You were a Clash of Clans
or did back then. No. See, that's the thing. Like mobile games, we were talking about like the mobile versus console too. Like, oh, I've never spent money on a mobile game, including Pokemon Go, which I love, and I guess that is that's a great example. That's a gotcha, but it's at least slightly different versus like pulling cards from a but like again, like in the US, there are games that are bigger that have those gotcha mechanics. Again, Ultimate Team in any of the sports games is a great example of that. That is gotcha at its finest, or Americanized, fine, and Westernized is probably better use for that word there. And I thought that was an interesting contrast to look at this show in that light of, and I do wonder if that does limit the show at least a little bit with American audiences.
But that's why in the West, they dropped all the gotcha thing. Like, it wasn't advertised as a Bang Dream show in the West. It was which is weird because it's the sequel to a Bang Dream show, but it was advertised as its own thing, and we don't have time to get into it. But I think you're onto something there, because that's where Ave Mujica Die is Cast is come from. If you go on Crunchyroll, that's what you see. It doesn't have Bang Dream in the title, which is so interesting for so many reasons.
Yeah. It is so the marketing around the show and the build up, and then also then the reception of the show too, which by the way, the reception on this watch club was a 7 out of 10 average between the three of us. I think it probably would have been around that same number with our other members here as well, give or take a couple percentage points. But on Mal, for example, which is primarily a Western audience, I would say, or user base, it has an 8.06, which is lower than the Bang Dream My Go that it came from, or is a sequel to, I believe, right?
It is.
I believe it's
wow. So you scored
like an 8.3,
2 something or whatever, 3.3 maybe. You scored it the same, Pat, as the show, and I scored it 2 points higher, and Pete scored it 1 point higher than. So we generally like this more.
Mm-hmm. And it again,
I imagine this was a slightly higher 5 for you than My Go was.
It is. So to be clear, this is better than My Go. I will give it that. If my, well, I don't know. Like I was able to find stuff that I liked in it, but again, I wish I could cut out episodes like 5 through 11 or up to 11, and just. Oh, they broke up, but now they're getting back together because X, Y, or Z thing. Like I think
they get back together. That would have been more. You only want to cut out 1/3 of the show.
You're right. That's all.
Which honestly sounds pretty 5 out of 10 to me. If you want to cut out 1/3 of it.
Yeah, that's fair. Like this is a movie would have been fun, I think, or more fun for me. But yeah, you look at the Western.
Can I interest you in the Ave Mujica compilation movie?
Yes. This has 30,000 members on Mal. Like it's not as which is nothing to scoff at, but it's nothing compared to what it is overseas in the mainland, I guess. Like it is a massive IP over there.
Oh yeah, Pete can attest to this.
Huge.
Yeah. It is everywhere. Bang Dream in general is everywhere.
Yeah, it was very
bizarre.
Prevalent. Very, very prevalent.
Yeah, but the 4,385th most popular show doesn't get posters like what Mile has in the background or trading cards really in the US, but they're here and although I don't know what hoops you had to jump through to get those cards, but
I ordered them on Amazon.
Amazon.com.
There's also an English set, but I wanted to save money because I didn't want to commit too much to the bit. And they're more expensive in English because there's less of them. Because it's less of a. Anyways.
Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, so that's I just thought that was an interesting thing to bring up about the show as well. Like it's like the. I don't know, like the two different sides of the world are very, very differently interested in this. I guess IP. So yeah, but that'll wrap up our discussion on Ave Mujica, the Die is Cast, at least here on this show. But please join the Discord if you want to talk to us about it more or want to talk to specifically Champ Eagle about it, because like we said, Miles was saying, he has so much information on this and we have
a couple
even as someone who didn't like it. Yeah. Even as someone who didn't like
went
it,
to Japan
it helped.
For an Ave Mujica concert, didn't he? Or something like that? I'm pretty sure Zig went to Japan for
that was the truth.
If that is the truth, I think that that is so sick. And again, that's an example of like who we have in our community that we're so thankful for. So, but yeah, that's Ave Mujica. The die is cast. And Miles, you have what we're watching 2 weeks from now already, don't you?
I do. We had a very close race this week with 21,
Race.
22,
Uh-huh.
23, 24 points.
Damn.
In third place is Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt.
Ooh.
In second place is the Uma Musume movie, the Tachyon one. And then in first place, we will be watching Surizure Children.
Hey, finally
which
won.
has won, yes.
This will be my
very
ninth
close.
time watching it.
But yeah, that is what we will be doing. So I'm excited. Pete, get your gloves on. We're about to have a fight.
I can't wait to referee it or be the
the
one
deciding vote.
Deciding votes. So yeah, of our two boxing judges, I'll be the third or fifth or however many we have for that episode. It should be fun. I'm excited to watch a short form show too, because I feel like we haven't done that much in our club either, which is maybe that's because there aren't very many good short form shows. But
if we have done any,
there's like books under Honda-san.
But we haven't done it though.
Oh no, have we ever done a short form?
Well, I guess like like the Petite Cosette was like 4 episodes, so like maybe
it was 4 or 3 like 45-minute episodes. That's closer to a movie.
Yeah.
I think something more like the daily life of high school boys, where even though it's a full show, it's sort of like broken into little bits.
Yep.
So it's like a 36 episode short thing that we watched. It might have even aired like that in Japan. I don't know, because like things like Psyche K and stuff get condensed, you know.
Yep.
So,
but yeah, Surizure Children will be the next thing we watch. Our final show that'll at least be recorded during this calendar year of 2025. And yeah, I'm excited to watch it. I've heard nothing but great things, and I think someone got it last Secret Santa assigned to them. And hearing them talk about it made me want to watch it so badly that I put it in here, and I'm glad to see it finally win. So, but yeah, let's talk about what we're nominating now, because we have 3 people, which means our chances go up by about 15% to win, just naturally by there only being 3 nominations. Miles, what are you nominating to vote on with the start of the year? It's 2026, baby.
Yes. Our next one will be on the 29th. I'll be pretty busy, so I'm gonna nominate the same stupid horse movie as I nominated. Suck it, Pete.
That's fair.
Not only does this prevent me from having to think of a new show, this one gets this over with and gives the credit to me on the stats that only I care about, with how many wins we have. And it lets me pretend to be the leader of the stable if it should win, as I will have presented more Uma Musume wins than Pete.
We do have an open position for stable leader. Chica resigned from stable leader. So if you would like to be stable leader, the position is open. Please send me your application form.
It is
and
thrust upon me.
$1,000 application fee.
Okay, I'm gonna do 2 subscriptions to our YouTube.
Yes,
Premium.
the tier 2 sub.
And
oh man,
but yeah,
really funny about that. How much money you actually get from this.
And honestly, Tachyon is an absolutely amazing name for a horse, so it's got that going.
Hell yeah.
That is a pretty funny name after looking it up. That is good. Pete, what are you nominating?
Man, well, Miles took my pick, so I'll just re-up Panty and Stocking.
Oh, fuck.
Panty and
Wait, do you want to do some sort of like thing where we don't nominate that? I let you nominate Uma Musume.
Yeah,
and
100%.
Okay,
I'm nominating Uma Musume.
Pat, you go. I just don't want to watch Panty and Stocking. Let me find something.
Just backpedaled after again another like 5-minute dissertation about how proud you are of taking over the stable, and now here we are.
We've seen me backpedal like 9 times.
It's nothing
this episode, and I'm gonna keep it up.
And I'm gonna keep doing it.
Fair enough. Yeah, watch me while I do it again, or whatever that little shit post is. Gosh, I really want to do the Zombieland Saga movie, but we still just can't watch it, right? It's
I
so
have my
annoying.
show.
We
if
are
you
doing
need
that
time.
as a standalone episode, by the way. Because we're all
Oh, of
watching it.
course.
We're all seeing it on the same day. So we are doing just a standalone episode for that.
Yeah, so I will do a cheat answer as usual and resort to my old tactics and do Princess Principal Crown Handler 1 and 2 and 3. I think lengthwise it adds up
Yeah,
to
that's fine. Lengthwise, there's all like 50 minutes, so that's like the equivalent of 6 episodes or
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, we'll do the 3 Princess Principal movies so that we can finally take that off my plan to watch. That's 3 things off my plan to watch. That would be pretty impactful if that wins, and I think it would be fun. That'd be a good little callback to our second ever episode, I think, of
It's second.
Watch Club that we ever did.
Yeah, Made in Abyss was
Was
one,
it second?
and then
Wow.
Princess Principal was 2.
Yeah. There you go. But Miles, what are you nominating?
I am going to
for
be
Watch
pulling.
Club?
I'm going to be doing a pat, and I'm going to do a show that you like very much that I haven't seen the second season to. Any guesses?
Is it Bunny Girl?
That's right. 86.
Oh,
part 2.
What? Shit.
Let's go. That'll be so much fun.
I'm not gonna lie.
Do you remember what the name?
I thought we did it. I thought we did part 2 already.
Dude,
honestly, that's a fair, valid point.
Sure that we didn't, but I haven't ever watched it, and I've watched everything we've watched. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Can't wait to call it.
I believe you.
again.
That would be so much fun. Oh man.
Yeah, 87. I will be nominating 87.
87. Do you guys remember the name of the device that they used to communicate with each other?
Pararaid.
Yep.
Ding ding. Points to Pete on that one. From our
that wasn't the question. The answer to your question is yes.
Oh,
yeah,
you're right.
Yes,
you're
that
right.
is correct.
My apologies. I was dumb.
Okay, then and then ding. Yeah, there we go. I don't know. You guys are above me on my screen, so maybe I'm pointing.
Yeah, I think you're doing left or right. I think I'd made the same mistake 6 times this episode.
Oh, that's right. Because not only is what we're looking at not real, but it's also modified and changed in our viewers' eyes in some capacity. Wow, we are so good at this. It's only taken us 6 years to figure this out, or
they don't know
however
what the
long
fuck you're talking about.
I know, that's even better, right? But yeah, so I think that wraps up Watch Club. Those are the 3 nominations. Please vote on them in the comments below or in our Discord. Once again, plugging it. So yeah, that wraps up our Watch Club for tonight. Pete, take it away.
I feel like I should call it out. I'm like, you are allowed to vote. If you were listening, you can vote. You can like leave comments in our YouTube for like your top 3, Spotify, come in our Discord, DM me, email me. If you want to hear a show to talk about, you are allowed to vote. So just let us know your top 3 in some way and your votes get counted. So do that. But if you have made this far and you want to support us, the best way to do so, like, comment, subscribe, leave a review on whatever platform you're watching or listening to us on, or you can give me a tier 2 YouTube sub. It is $500 a month. It gets you priority access to our live streams, which I do once a quarter. Your name gets highlighted or something. So definitely worth $500 a month. Next week, we are looking into 2026 already. That's crazy. So we're going to be checking out, and on paper, it looks like probably the most stacked season of anime ever. I would just say, just in terms of overall. So there's going to be a lot of shows to go over. Mostly the new shows, since there's so many sequels, but we're going to be looking at the new shows. Otherwise, if you are here for Watch Club, we will see you in 2 weeks for Suri Suri Children. Thanks, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.